Well, I think we should start with this one because I don't think there's much to be thankful about, and that is the Jets and Patriots game.
I'm thankful the Patriots won.
Not if you're a New York fan or a New York Jet fan, because this game was horrible. This game was embarrassing on all fronts. Robert Saleh has informed Zach Wilson and the rest of the Jets organization that the quarterback position is open right now. He is open to moving off Zach Wilson if that means, maybe more wins, a better performance, because Zach Wilson did not play very well. He went 9 of 22 for 77 yards. And this was in post game. It was not a pretty sight for Zach Wilson. We have the clip here.
As an offense, though, I mean, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No. Thank you.
That was it. One word response to if you let down your defense, and he simply said no. No explanation, no nothing. So I want to ask you, do you think the Jets should be searching for their next QB solution only 2 years into Zach Wilson's career?
Maybe. I'm not totally sure. I mean, Zach Wilson has done very poorly against Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's got his number. And the Patriots defense now, I think it's the best defense in the league right now. They've figured it out, man. They've got a strategy, and they don't give up any points, right? They gave up no points to Detroit. They gave up 3 points to the Jets, right? They're a fantastic defense. I think that I wouldn't put it all on Zach Wilson. I think that the Patriots had a game plan for him. I put some of it on the Jets offensive coordinator, right? He couldn't figure it out. They should have made some adjustments during the game, right? They didn't know what they were doing. And Zach Wilson did throw some passes that were very poor, right? They were inaccurate. He threw it over people's heads. There should have been 2 interceptions. The Patriots dropped both of them. So, I think they should start Flacco. And I'm not sure what they should do next year, whether they should draft another quarterback or not. I think they figure that out along the way here. But they're in contention, so they don't want to miss out on that. They should pivot right now and try Flacco, I think, and let Wilson watch a little bit longer.
Right.
That's what I'd do.
Well, it looks like the population on Twitter, at least for one,
Flacco was a Super Bowl quarterback.
He is. He won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
There's a poll brought out by one of the Twitter users that I follow, NFL Rumors, on Twitter at NFLRUMS. 6,859 people took this poll. 58.7% of people says Joe Flacco to start the next game against the Bears. Mike White was the next highest at 29%. Zach Wilson was all the way down here at 12.3%. I said this last time we talked about Zach Wilson when it was the first game without Breece Hall. I believe it was against the Patriots, and he just could not deliver. He threw the 3 interceptions. They were all very, very ugly interceptions. And I said he should grow up. And once again, you go into a press conference where in the second half, your offense averaged 2.7 inches per play. 2.7 inches per play. Not feet, not almost the yard per play. Inches, which is very, very bad. I believe you might have had negative yards in the second half.
I think they did.
It was absurd. And your defense allowed 3 points. And when you're asked, did you let your defense down? You simply say no. How did you not? Were you not?
He doesn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say.
He's turning on his team.
What would he? He's a young guy, and he played terrible, and he knows it. And what's he going to say to that? I mean,
you should give a response. Yes, no, exactly that. That's what I'm saying about how Zach Wilson needs to grow up. Baker Mayfield, he's not. He's not a great quarterback. He's not a terrible. He's not god awful. He's not a good quarterback though. He's a bad quarterback, a below average quarterback. But at least he comes out and doesn't say one word answers. He says what's wrong, and that's something that I respect about it. He says what's going on. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, just says no. And Robert Saleh was not too happy with the offense. He was calling it out. Elijah Moore is also calling out his offense. It seems like Zach Wilson is not happy when it comes to
Well, Salah is the head coach. I mean, he
Right.
should do something about it. If he's not happy, he's the guy that can make the decisions to fix it.
That's why he's saying the quarterback job is open right now.
Well, he shouldn't say that. I mean, what does that mean? It's open. Who's going to make a decision about who plays quarterback? He's the guy that's going to make it. So instead of saying it's open, he should say Zach Wilson's going to sit down for a game, for a couple of games, and we're going to look at Joe Flacco and see what we can do. We're in contention and we need to win. So we've got to try something different right now.
There's a problem with that.
I don't know
though.
what I'd say. The quarterback position is open. What does that mean?
There's a problem with that because you have to realize this is a young quarterback and you don't want to kill his confidence. If you kill his confidence,
well, I don't know what that means. So now he's wondering, well, am I starting or am I sitting? I don't know what I'm in limbo. I don't know
exactly. So
instead of making an announcement that the quarterback position is open, he should have got in there and talked to Zach Wilson, say, look, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
And then come out and say either he's starting or he's not. Let everybody know definitively, not leave it up in the air like that. I don't think that's the right thing to do. That doesn't show much leadership. Shows zero leadership.
But you have to realize that if you kill a kid's confidence, if you kill a young quarterback's confidence, he'll never be anything.
No, but don't kill. You wouldn't kill it if you
set him aside. You're benched.
No, you set him aside and say, look, we're in contention right now. You're in the early stages of your career.
Right.
You've had a couple of bad games. You're not playing up to what we need to be right now. We're going to go with Joe Flacco for a while now and see how that goes, and you will learn from it. That's what I want you to do. Don't think that it's the end of your career. It's not. Yeah, that's what I'd do.
They went 1-2 with Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco did have over 900 yards passing and led the league in passing when he did start.
Yeah.
I would probably go to Joe Flacco. A lot of fans online love Mike White because of the story last year. He comes in, he puts up 400 yards against the Bengals.
One game, and then
them.
he's been lousy ever since.
Yes, I agree with that.
One game. I think it was a fluke.
It was 400 yards on 80%
Joe Flacco
completion
is a proven
percentage.
quarterback.
Yeah, but he's washed now. He's not going to be better than anybody, but
no, but he can manage the game a lot better.
Right, I agree with that.
I think he can throw a screen pass and not throw it over the guy's head.
Right. Yeah. Zach Wilson threw a horrible screen pass. They were wide open.
Joe Flacco is a great long passer. He throws the ball long as well as anybody, accurately too.
Maybe in his prime.
I still think he's got that. I think he's got that long pass.
I don't know about that. That might push it a little bit.
I think, given what's happened recently for them, I think it's worth a try.
Could be.
Again, I don't put it all on Zach Wilson either. I put a lot on the offensive coordinator. I mean, Bill Belichick outsmarted those guys big time.
Well, the crazy part about it is, for the second time, the Jets sacked Mac Jones more than the Patriots sacked Zach Wilson, and they still got the win. The Patriots did. Once again, when the Jets versus the Patriots, they sacked Mac Jones again for the sixth time. 6 sacks in both games.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is Mac Jones standing back there looking around. And not getting rid of the ball fast enough.
I don't know.
And I will say, I was watching some of those routes the guys were running, and there were people open, and he didn't see them. So it makes me wonder: does he really know the plays well enough to know where the receivers are going to be, or is he just dropping back there and looking around to see where they are? Does he really know? I mean, Brady, he knows exactly where everybody's going to be. Right?
You should compare Mac Jones to Tom Brady.
Well, no, but in terms of preparation and learning and being out there and knowing exactly what's going to happen on every play, I'm not so sure Mac Jones knows that.
Well, Mac Jones did not have a bad game under any regard.
No, he did. 23 of 27. I mean, and 246 yards. That's pretty good.
That's very
pretty good. No touchdowns, though. When they get the red zone,
no turnovers.
No turnovers. That's good too. But when they get in the red zone, they can't punch the ball into the end zone. That's a problem they have.
They had trouble with a lot of penalties, though, when they got down there. Penalties and sacks. A lot of, for some reason.
Sacks because he's standing back
it could
too
be
long.
The pocket's collapsing some of that time, though. The pocket.
Well, then he should throw the ball away.
Trent Brown, for a few of these games, has had serious problems, especially against the Jets. He keeps getting beat on the outside. And plus, they lost David Andrews possibly for the entire year.
That hurts.
They lost Isaiah Wynn, who was in there, who wasn't doing too badly. He had a little bit of a penalty issue earlier this year.
He gets hurt a lot.
But he was also moved to guard as well. He was moved off a tackle into guard. So they did lose 2 offensive linemen. Cole Strange has been in and out of the lineup recently. I don't know what that's entirely about. But it could have been the pocket collapsing. Mac Jones does tend to hold the ball a little bit longer, though.
He does.
He told reporters before this game how he took this break or whatever to work on his timing on his dropbacks because he realized he would drop back way before the receivers were even ready to break on their routes. So then he worked on film. It wasn't so much a physical rework. It was more so of a mental one. How many steps do I drop back? When are the receivers supposed to be open? So it could be Mac Jones doesn't entirely know which place to go to or when the receiver's supposed to break. That could also okay.
Well, that's practice.
You shouldn't put that all on Mac Jones because for some reason he didn't know who his play caller was through most, if not all, of the offseason. Going to week 1, we didn't even know who the official play caller was.
Yeah, but they know what the plays are. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do.
Judge is calling different things than that.
But I understand he's calling a bunch of different plays, but they got to know what they're supposed to do on every play. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. He needs to know what routes the receivers are running.
Right.
And then he has to go through his progression and throw the ball. He stands back there looking around. I don't know whether he really knows where those guys are going or not.
I was surprised. I mean, Zach Wilson, there was no offense there, so I shouldn't be that surprised that he didn't throw any turnovers. They were mostly out of bounds. I mean, the Jets punted more than Zach Wilson completed passes.
He should have had 2 interceptions.
He should have. One was straight to Devin McCourty, and the other one was a jump route.
Jonathan Jones should have had that one.
It was a beautiful jump route, but he just couldn't keep the ball. And then Marcus Jones, I believe that's what his name, had that 84-yard punt return for a touchdown. It was a beautiful, beautiful punt return.
They were lucky they didn't call the blocking in the back on Wilson. How stupid was that?
It was kind of on the side, though. It was close. It was very, very close. But it could have been a
Jones
Jones
was going into the end zone no matter what, right? And then he made that block. He did that. They're lucky. Yeah. They're lucky they didn't get called on that. Yeah. The refs didn't see it.
It was very close. Yeah. To get
that can't be challenged, right? Where would the penalty have been? Would it be at the spot of the foul? Or would they have taken the ball all the way back?
I think they would have taken. Oh, I actually don't know about that.
Yeah, I think if it was at the spot of the foul, then they would have kicked the field goal and still won the game.
I have a feeling it would have been other. No, it probably would have been on the punt kick. It either move it back or move it forward. I guess the Jets might have had a first down. I don't know what the block in the back rules are.
No, they wouldn't have done that.
So what, you just get it at what? Where
I don't know.
The ball?
I don't know if they take it all the way back or they take it with the spot of the foul with the penalty.
Could be. Yeah. I want to get on your Patriots defense comments.
We're announcers here. We should know that.
I want to get on your Patriots defensive comments. They're not first in points allowed. They're second in points allowed. So they're right up there. Same thing with yards.
No, but in the last, since they got this figured out about 5 weeks ago, they've got to be number one.
Well, you have to realize
they must be number one.
Well,
I mean, the first few games, their defense wasn't that great, but they figured it out. They have the right rotations.
The one outlier was the the Bears game. Gave up 33 points in that game.
Yeah, they weren't prepared for that game. I don't know what happened there.
But since the Lions game where they gave up no points, it was 15 against the Browns, 33 against the Bears, 17 against the Jets, 3 against the Colts, and 3 against these Jets. They play the Vikings next week, and we'll get into this a little later on in the show. We'll get into the Thanksgiving games. But I don't know. The Vikings they need a rebound after getting smothered by the Cowboys, and we'll get into that in our next topic. We're going to be talking about them. But I don't know. They play a lot of teams. I had the strength of schedule up here.
Patriots have a tough go of it.
They do. Let's see if it's out here now. Is this for week 12? The Patriots have the 4th strongest schedule going throughout the rest of the year. Through 11 weeks, they have the 4th toughest schedule. Meanwhile, some of these teams like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bucks, the Chargers all have some of the easiest schedules. The Chiefs actually having the easiest schedule.
The Chiefs are in the top anyway. It doesn't matter for they were going to win the division anyway. It's the wild card fight,
right? So
it's like the Chargers, right? Mm-hmm. What's their record now?
The Chargers' record, they lost They lost 2 nights ago, so they are 5-5 right now.
5-5.
Yeah.
So they're 1 game behind the Patriots.
Yes.
1 game behind the Jets.
The Jets right now are out of the playoffs.
Who is the 7th seed right now?
That would be the Patriots or the Bengals.
No, the Bengals. It's the Bengals. The Patriots are the 6th seed.
So then it would be the Bengals.
So there's going to be a fight for those last 2 playoff spots, and it's going to be tough for the Patriots because they do have the tough schedule. They need to win on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's going to be tough to beat the Vikings because they got smothered by the Cowboys. They're going to be playing for something now.
That could be, and you're playing at Vikings as well.
At Vikings, and it's indoors.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots play better outdoors.
Well, the Patriots do. I mean, like I said, they have the 4th toughest schedule remaining in the NFL right now. They play teams like the Bills. I believe they play the Bills twice. Yep. They also.
Although the Bills are a little softer than they were at the beginning of the year, their defense is still great, but their offense is sputtering.
Can Bill Belichick keep up with DeAndre Hopkins? Kyler Murray will probably be back by then. Can they keep up with Devontae Adams? Because they're actually playing on a short week that week. They play Monday and Sunday, each late games. So they're gonna be playing at night. They play Monday night straight into Sunday. So relatively short week. You play the Bengals. Jamar Chase might be back by then. T. Higgins is still there. Can you deal with that? You play the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Will we see anything there? There's a lot of question marks happening.
You know what? They played the Dolphins well the first game in terms of the defense. They gave up 20 points, right?
Yeah.
And the Dolphins have a pretty dynamic offense.
I don't
right?
think
It was the Patriots'
off.
offense that was the problem. It wasn't the defense. It was the offense. The offense only scored
Mike
7
McDaniel didn't
points.
have anything else. It was the first career coaching game, so I think he has it right now. And
they should do better against. They should do better than
Yes.
Against Miami, and they'll be playing at home. Is it the last game of the season?
No, Bills is the last game, January 8th, 1 p.m. game. So I don't know. They have a pretty tough schedule. It's close to say that they'll make or miss the playoffs. It's really a toss-up because there are a lot of teams that could make it, could miss it. Right now, they're in the 6th seed, so they have a 2-game buffer right now between them and the next remaining spot. They need to drop out 2 spots to miss the playoffs. So we'll definitely keep a close eye on that. But I don't know, Zach Wilson, should they be looking at the next solution? I know what my brother was saying. Get him out of there. Replace him. They need to find a new quarterback. And I can sort of agree with it because...
Yeah, but I think that right now it's the immediacy. They have to worry about the rest of the games in the season because they are in contention.
Right.
Right? So whether they draft another quarterback or not, I don't think they're thinking about that. They're thinking about who's going to play next Sunday.
Yeah.
Right?
They're playing the Bears. They're right now favored by 4.5 against the Bears.
Is it at home or away?
It is at Jets, I believe.
Oh, they should win that game.
If Zach Wilson starts, I'm taking Bears plus 4.5.
Yeah.
That would be me.
I would do that too.
If Joe Flacco starts, then I'll probably pick the Jets minus 4. But it depends on where the spread goes. They're playing at home against the Bears, yeah. So I don't know. It's I would definitely, it's a toss up. Could I see them benching Zach Wilson after what he's been doing, especially against the Patriots? Yeah, I could. Because I said it as soon as Breece Hall was out, I put a question mark.
I have one more comment about the Patriots-Jets game.
Sure.
Bill Belichick loves a game like that game on Sunday.
Of course he does.
Because he's a defensive guru, and he loves it when the special teams and the defense are what really wins the game.
Gets his ego up there saying, look what I did.
Yeah. And his son is a defensive coordinator.
He also has another one of his kids, Brian Belichick, I believe, on the team as well.
So I think Belichick savors a game like that and have come out on top with the special teams being the reason they won.
Yeah.
I mean, the special teams scored all the points, right? They got the field goal and the touchdown.
If I had to take a guess what Bill Belichick's favorite Super Bowls are, it'd be beating the greatest show on turf and the second Rams Super Bowl.
Both the Rams Super Bowls. Yeah. No points given up.
I can tell you what his least favorite Super Bowl would probably be.
The Eagles.
Yeah, losing because he gave up 41 points to Nick Foles. Nick Foles right now is the backup quarterback.
That's crazy.
To Matt Ryan and Sam Ehlinger. He's on the Colts. He was the third string. They put Sam Ehlinger over him. How bad do you have to be to get beat out by Sam Ehlinger? I mean, that's bad. He was a Super Bowl MVP that year. I don't know. Jets are in some trouble. Jets are in a lot of trouble. And the problem is that New York fans are unrelenting when it comes to this. If you break their trust, you're screwed.
Yeah, well.
It's like getting blackballed in Hollywood.
Yeah, well.
You'll have a tough time getting out of there alive. So Zach Wilson has to be very, very careful. And him just saying no in a press conference, not giving sort of any explanation.
That I agree with you.
That does not bode well.
Not appropriate.
No. And then Robert Saleh did call him out for that